previous two videos, we have seen the example of classifying handwritten characters. We have seen how to import the data into MATLAB, then how to pre-process the data, then we have seen how to extract features from the data to build a model, and then how to evaluate this model. So in this video, we will continue with few more things about importing and pre-processing data. When you have huge amount of data to be stored, usually it is not stored in a single file. It is organized and stored in different files and folders. For example, if we have to store data about the handwritten characters, including all the alphabets, then we can organize them into different folders according to the alphabets. So how to import the data from multiple files is what we are going to see in this particular session. So to import multiple files, we use the MATLAB function data store. So this particular function will import the files from the files that we specify in that particular function. So we will see how to use this function. So before we start using that function, here for this no specific example, we assume that the files have been named as follows. So because the samples have been collected from many different volunteers, and each volunteer has provided more than one sample of letters, and also different alphabets they have provided. So the file names have been given like this. It starts with the name user, then followed by the user number, okay, 001, 002, 003, okay, so this is the user number, underscore the character for which the data is provided, okay, underscore the sample number provided by that particular user, because one single user can provide two samples for the same alphabet, okay, so the sample number provided by that user. So this is the format in which the file is named, and it is stored in a folder, okay. So you can see in this particular diagram, we have got user 001 underscore m underscore 1. Then we have got user 001 underscore v underscore 1. So the first file contains the alphabet m given by user 1, the data provided by user 1. Then the second file has the data for alphabet v provided by the same user. So like this, we have got a list of files that are stored in this particular folder. So we will see how to read these files and how to pre-process these files. So as I told you, we will be using the data store function. So the format of this data store function is, we give the variable name where you want to load the files, equal to data store, and inside bracket we will give the name of the file in double quotes. So when you are giving the name of the file here, say for example in this case, I want to load all the files with the data for letter M, okay. So in that case, my file name will be of the form user followed by a 3-digit user number underscore M underscore the sample number dot txt. So this will be the format of my file that I need to load. So here, while specifying the file name in this data store function, I will specify the name as star m star. So this will load all the data files corresponding to the alphabet M. Okay, so this is the all the text files with the data for alphabet M will be loaded. So here you can see the snapshot of the letter ds variable. So you can see the different information about, okay, the files are loaded here. So as you can see, there are 6 files for the alphabet M that we have loaded, and then you can see the variable names, okay, and what is the delimiter, and other informations are also provided here. So next we will see, once we have loaded these 6 files, how to read data from each of those files, okay. So that we will see next. So for that we will use the MATLAB function read. So first, to read the data from the first file, I will just say data equal to read the name of the variable where we have which we have used in the previous step to import all the files. Okay, so I will say data equal to read letter ds. So that will read the data from the first file that we have loaded, and I am plotting the data. Okay, data.x comma data.y, which is the x position of the pen versus the y position of the pen. So now that plot you can see. So this data which is loaded here, okay, as you can see from the snapshot, this is a 28 cross 4 table, means there are 28 rows and 4 columns, and a plot of the alphabet is also shown here. Now if you have, this is the data from the first file. Now if you have to read the data from the next file, we will use the same read command again. Okay, so when I say data equal to read letter ds for the second time, MATLAB will load the contents from the second file that we have imported. So you can see the difference here. When you use it for the second time, the data that gets loaded is 81 cross 4 table. Okay, so this data has got 81 rows and 4 columns, and we can also see the plot of the x position versus y position. So as you can see the difference between the two plots, this character, this particular letter M is written by two different people. Okay, so you can see the handwriting style is different in both the cases. So to individually read the data from the files, you can follow the same steps repeatedly. That will load the data from the individual files. Now if we want to read the data from all the files together, then we will use the MATLAB function read all. Okay, so this will read the data from all the files at the same time. So here we can see we have used it, data equal to read all letter ds. Okay, so this will read the data from all the files in this letter ds. So you can see here the snapshot of this data table. This has got 256 rows and 4 columns. It has got 256 rows because it is combining the data in all the files. Okay, so the number of rows is 256. And then you can also see the plot of the x position and y position. So you can see the overlapping of many handwritten characters M. That is because we have plotted all the data, the data that is available in all the 6 files. So once we import the data, the next step that we need to perform is pre-processing the data. So already we have seen this pre-processing step in the previous videos. There are 2 pre-processing that we have done. One is correcting the distance unit. Okay, we corrected the distance unit because the tab that is used for recording the handwriting data is a rectangular tab. So you need to correct the horizontal axis. So we did a correction, we performed a correction to the distance unit. Then we also did a correction to the time values. Instead of the time values starting from some instant of time, we corrected it to start from 0. Okay, so that the time, it will give us the measure of how much time is taken for a particular alphabet to be written. So those are the 2 pre-processing steps that we have done in the previous case. Now in this case, we will include, okay, one more pre-processing step. We will also be normalizing the data. Okay, so we will see how to normalize the data and then use that particular data. Okay, so now we will see how it is to be done. So for the entire data set, we will try to automate this particular procedure, okay, by first writing a custom function, and then we will be calling that particular function, okay, so that whenever you load the data, automatically whatever is the pre-processing step, that will be applied to the data. Okay, we will see how that is to be done. So first we will see how to write a function for pre-processing data. So you can see the code here. What we are doing in this particular code is what we have already been doing. We are first loading the importing the file containing the data for the letter M. Okay, we are importing all the files with the data for letter M. Then I am reading the data from the first file, and then I am calling a particular function called as scale. To this function I am passing the data data as input. Okay, so this is the data that I am passing as input, and the output that the function gives, again I am storing it in the variable name data. So we will see how this function scale is written, so that you can see here at the end of the program. So this function is written to correct the time values and to correct the distance unit. Okay, the horizontal distance unit. So the name of the function here is scale. The input data that I am passing to the function is the variable name data, and the output of the function I am again storing it in the variable name data. So what I perform inside this particular function is, the first thing that I do is I am correcting the time values by subtracting the time variable by the first instant of time, that is data dot time of 1, so that the time axis will start from 0. Okay, this divided by 1000 is because the time is in milliseconds. Then again, to correct the horizontal distance, okay, as we have seen in the previous videos, the horizontal dimension of the tab is 1.5 times the vertical dimension of the tab. So to correct the distance unit, we multiply the horizontal axis values by 1.5. Okay, so these are the two pre-processing steps, and we have written it as a function, and we can call this particular function whenever we need to perform this pre-processing. Okay, so the remaining part of the program is just plotting the data to visualize the data. Now, in the previous case, okay, when we have written a function to do the pre-processing, still, okay, what you need to do is you need to call the function manually. Means whenever you want to perform the pre-processing step, you need to call the scale function. Now, if you have to automate this data importing and pre-processing, we will, okay, use a different function that is called as a transform function. Okay, and we will be, okay, importing a transformed data store. Okay, so we will see how to do this. We will use the function transform for this particular case. So when you use this, okay, it will return a new data store as output. That will be a transformed data store. Okay, and whenever the data is, okay, whenever you import the data, the pre-processing steps will be automatically applied to the data. So we will see how to use this transform function for importing transformed data store. So what we do here is, we are, first we are loading all the files for the character M, and then we use this transform function. So you can see this is the transform function. The inputs that we are passing is this variable letter ds, where we have imported all the files, and scale. Okay, scale is the name of the function that we have written in the in the previous step. So the same function I am calling now, because I am calling a function inside a function. Okay, because this transform is also an inbuilt MATLAB function. This scale is a user defined function that we have written, but since we are calling a function inside a function, we need to write it as at scale. Okay, so this will call the scale function. Okay, the scale function is also provided here. So this will call that particular function, and the transformed data store, we store it, okay, using the variable name pre-processed data store. Okay, so you can see this pre-processed. Okay, this is the pre-processed data set, where we store the that is the variable name that we use for storing the transformed data store. Okay, and then we are reading the data from this particular data store. Okay, we are reading the data from the transformed data store. Okay, so the variable name that I'm using here with the read all command is this pre-processed data store. So I am reading it and storing it in the variable name data. Then just to visualize the data, I am making a plot of the data as plot data dot x comma data dot y. That will give me a plot of x position versus y position. And I'm also plotting data dot time comma data dot y. That will give me time versus y position. Okay, so you can see the two plots that are shown here. The first plot shows the plot of the character m that is available in all the 6 files that we have loaded. And the second okay, but yeah, here this what plot we see here is after the correction that is made in the distance unit of your horizontal axis. And the second plot is time versus your y-axis position. So you can see here the time axis is starting from 0 because we have done that particular no correction in the time unit in this function scale. Okay, so we have seen how to pre-process the data and import a transformed data store. So in the next case, we will see how to normalize the data. Okay, I told you there is one more additional pre-processing step that we will be doing. We will be normalizing the data. Now, why you need to normalize the data is, okay, this is one common step that is done in, okay, many machine learning algorithms. So the advantage of normalizing the data is, in this particular case, you will ensure that all the letters are centered around the same point. Okay, right now there are different users who have provided the data for different characters, so they are in different positions. Okay, so we know by normalizing the data we will ensure that all the letters are centered around the same point. Okay, this we will do it by shifting the mean. Okay, by shifting the mean, so that the mean of the shifted data is 0. Okay, so we will be doing a shift of the mean of the x-axis position and the mean of the y-axis position. Okay, so that is how we are going to normalize the data. So yeah, you can see here the code that we use for normalizing the data, that is included as part of this function scale. Okay, so the remaining, the main part of the program is same as what we have written in the previous case, only there are no two additional things that we are doing in this function scale. The first one is we are normalizing the x-axis position, and the second one is we are normalizing the y-axis position. So how we are normalizing is, we are writing it as data dot x is equal to data dot x minus mean of data dot x. Okay, so we are shifting the mean position. Okay, means we are shifting the data by its mean value. Okay, so that is how we are normalizing the data. Same thing we are doing for the y-axis position also. Okay, so at the when you execute this particular program, what we see is there is no plot that is appearing in the plot window. Okay, the reason is, if you look at, okay, the data table here that is displayed, we have got some nan values, that is not a number. Those are the undefined values that gets inserted into the table, because of which we did not get a proper plot. So to avoid that, what we do here is we include one more additional parameter here while calculating the mean. We ask it to omit the nan values. Okay, so when it omits the nan values, so you can see there are no nan values now, and you can see the plot. Okay, so what we see in this particular plot here is the data is the center point of the data has become common. In the previous plots, okay, that we have seen, the data had different center points. Okay, so the position of the letter alphabet M was in different it was in different positions, but now you can see the center point of all the handwritten letter M has come to a common point. Okay, so that is the result of normalizing the x-axis and y-axis position. So this ends the pre-processing of data. So we have seen in this particular lecture how to import data from multiple files. Okay, how to use the data store function to import data from multiple files, how to read the data, and know how to pre-process the data, how to automate this pre-processing of data in such a way that we automatically import a transformed data store. Okay, so that is what we have seen in this particular no video. So in the subsequent videos we will continue with the remaining aspects of classification. Thank you.